Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Momentum number 176. Today, we're going to be talking about door knocking. This was the foundation of me starting real estate. Everything that I did in the beginning, like all the momentum that I created, came from knocking on doors. I didn't have a bunch of money to spend. I couldn't go out and hire, a ton of virtual assistants to start outsourcing. I did have time, and that's how I got started. And guys, this is such a unique thing to get good at right now. If you're wondering about how can I get into real estate, how can I get some momentum in my business, door knocking is a fantastic way to go about doing that, simply because like no one else is doing it. And we're looking at the timeline of what's happening in the world right now. They're starting to slowly creep in. These foreclosures are starting to creep in. And door knocking pre foreclosures, not just door knocking, but door knocking pre foreclosures, amazing, amazing, amazing. That's how I think I got my first 35 to 40 deals was foreclosures. So guys, this stuff works. We're gonna be talking about the script today because I don't know if you guys have noticed, like our Pace posted today in the Creative Finance with Pace Morby group. We're going to be starting a challenge. Season 2 of Zero to Hero is coming out September 20th. So it's going to be a 30-day challenge. It's probably going to end up taking this all the way to the end of October. Our goal is to see how many properties we can buy, either sub 2, Creative Finance, wholesale, fix and flip. How many properties we can buy by knocking on doors, driving for dollars, doing the whole thing. So guys, this is geared towards if you don't have any money, this is what you should do. And it works, man. It freaking works. So let's look at our script. And guys, if you don't have access to the script, again, stay tuned for season 2. But if you want the script that I'm going to show you guys here today, I've already talked about it on my channel here before, but I think I want you guys to at least see it. You can go to my website. It's themattbeard.com. You can get access to this script. So this is my foreclosure door knocking script. Pretty cool. I think the one thing I want you guys to understand, when you're coming to the door and you're knocking on folks that are in foreclosure, they're always going to say, I got it taken care of. They're always going to say, no, thanks, I'm good. They're like 9 times out of 10, if they wanted to sell their house, they would already done it before. If they wanted to sell their house, they already sold it to someone else a long time ago. So every other person that's calling them saying, hey, do you want to sell your property? No, they don't want to sell their property. So what are you? Who are you to them? You are a specialist. You are someone that is there to help them navigate through the process. Because 9 times out of 10, maybe even more, most of these folks have never gone through foreclosure before. So the more value you can provide in, hey, I'm not here to buy your house, I'm here because I think I can help, the better. And look, that's the reality of the situation. If I know something that can help someone save their house, I am going to tell them that always. Like if I can point someone in the right direction, maybe it's not selling me the house, I'm transparent, and I will say, once I get to the point where we're closing and we're talking about options, I'll say, look, the only way I make money is if I buy the house. But sometimes I understand that it's not the best situation for everyone. I've worked with plenty of sellers in the past. I've worked with plenty of people. I was sitting there in the living room going through an agreement and, looking at this, there's just one guy that always comes to my mind. I've said this story before, but for you guys who never heard it, I was sitting in a living room with this guy named Hunter, and Hunter had kids that was going to the school in the neighborhood. Hunter and his wife did not have a car, and Hunter and his wife did not have a job. They were having to sell their property because of foreclosure, and they weren't going to be able to net anything because they owed exactly what the property was worth, probably owed a little bit more because the property need work. So no cash offer is going to work. So we'd have to do it subject to, and they were standing to make maybe $1,000 on the sale. So number one, it was a great deal for me, but on the flip side of that, is it a great deal for Hunter? Because now, how are the kids going to get to school? They're going to have to change schools. Like, what's going to happen to them? Like, the money that they get from the sale, Hunter doesn't have a job. How is he going to pay first and last month on a rental? Is $1,000 going to save their problem? No. What reality was, like, I think Hunter, like, yo, how can we help you keep this house? Right? It may be shooting myself in the foot for a deal, but I'm here to do this for my entire life. I'm not here for this short game. So the nuance in working with people in foreclosure is you legit have to be there to help them. And what's funny, this funny thing happens is when you're there to help and you provide real value to people, like the deals just start to come. So I was able to talk with Hunter, and we worked our way backwards and realized, like, dude, selling the property is not the right thing, but I can't tell you to do this because I'm, maybe seek legal counsel, whatever you want to say. But wink, wink, have you ever thought about filing a bankruptcy? Because if you file a bankruptcy, you'll be able to keep your primary residence, right? And they're not going to be able to foreclose it. It'll stop that foreclosure. As long as you stay on time with making your payments to your attorney, whatever you guys settle as part of the bankruptcy, you're not going to worry about losing this house. So ultimately, guys, I have PDFs, I have sheets of all the foreclosure options that you would walk through with someone. Ultimately, 8 of them would help them save their house, and you can go with them together. Like, and most of the time, guys, like, why do I care about that? Well, number one, I want to be a good person, but number two, most of the time, the ways that someone could keep their house, they're unable to do it. And it's important that you going as like the reporter, right? You going in as like, hey, just letting you know, like, these are the things that are on the table that you could possibly explore. They will eliminate themselves from those things as you work their way through it. But you don't want to tell them like, oh, you're not going to be able to save your house. You don't want to tell them, oh, you're not going to be able to get a loan modification. You don't want to tell them you can't do a bankruptcy. You don't want to tell them any of that. You want to let them know and be informed with what is on the table. And most of the time they would be like, well, I don't want to file a bankruptcy. I don't want to have that on my name. I want to explore, a loan modification. But if I do a loan modification, I don't even know if it's going to go through. Right? It could take months to get an answer. And the next thing you know, I'm left with 2 weeks before my auction and they haven't given me an answer on my loan mod. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to put all my eggs in that one basket. Right? So you start working your way through the options. If you guys aren't familiar with that, I'll be happy to give you a PDF version of it. But ultimately, guys, when you show up at the door, you don't say like, hey, I'm here to buy your house. Of course, you would love to, right? That's how you're going to make money. But again, funny thing happens is when you provide value up front, funny thing happens, people open up to you and they have a conversation because it's so much different than being on the phone with someone. When you're at the door with them, it's a much more, hey, this is a much more personal thing, right? So it's all about how you present yourself. You don't have anything in your hands. You don't carry a notebook with you. You're there trying to talk to someone, right? So if you guys read the script, it's, hey, my name's Matt. How are you today? I'm good. What are you doing here? So that's great. I'm stopping by and hope to speak with John. That wouldn't be you. Right? He said, no, that's not me or such and such. They're not home. I said, great. What time do they typically stop by? I'm just stopping by in regards to the lender. I think there's some things that they should probably know. I don't know if they're aware of. But when's a good time that I could possibly stop back by? Right? So you would set the appointment back for yourself. If you do have the right person, it's okay, awesome. I know you've probably been bombarded with calls, texts, and everything in between with folks asking to buy your house. That's not what I'm here for. However, it seems there's an ongoing problem with the bank. I'm a specialist that focuses on getting them off your guys' back. What have you guys done up to this point? Nah, we're good. We've been working with the bank. We're not in foreclosure. Thank you. We're not in foreclosure. We're working with the bank. So got it. Well, what is your guys' goal? When you're working with the bank, does that mean you guys are doing a loan modification? Right? Oh, yeah, we're doing a loan mod. Well, great. Did they explain to you guys kind of what that looks like as far as the loan modification process? Say the only thing you're trying to do, when I first got started door knocking, I would leave the door when someone says, oh, no, I got it taken care of. Thank you. I'll be like, okay, yep, no problem, sir. Right? But I learned by asking a few more questions. Well, when they say I'm working with the bank, what does that mean? Loan modification. Do they know? Do they have all their eggs in that one basket of loan modification? Because if they do, what if it doesn't go through? So in the back of my mind, I say, oh, so you guys are doing loan modification. That is great. I mean, I would say that should be plan A anyways. Is there any other options you guys are looking at just in case that doesn't go through? God forbid, it'd be a couple weeks before the auction. There are other ways that you can save the house. Have you guys looked at anything like that? Right? The only thing you're trying to do is set a further appointment. Never do you ever go into the property the first time you're at the door. Okay. It is a process. So when you're there, you're just trying to get their mind open to possibly having a discussion with you about all the other options within foreclosure. Because once I get in the living room, we're sitting down and we're talking, I can break down the 8 options. I can say, hey man, this is this, and this. And I mean, what do you think would be the best bet? Okay, plan A is this, but worst case scenario, if this doesn't go through, a lot of our clients choose to have us in the wings as a plan B. So at least someone has your back and you're not going to be left up against an auction date of 2 or 3 weeks away. You have something in writing and you know that we're there to make sure you don't lose the house, right? There's been so many times where we've gotten deals done as a plan B. and plan A doesn't work out, but I would never tell them don't do it. I'm a decent human being. Like, please go ahead, do it, try it. But in the event it doesn't work out, isn't it? I mean, do you think it'd be wise to at least have a plan B? Or is like, in the event that doesn't work out, what's the worst case scenario? I had someone tell me once, guys, oh, well, the street doesn't look too bad. It's like, man, you can't go living in the street. Like, look, there's many options that we can look at together to see if we can work together on, possibly even keeping this house. So that's the whole purpose of this script. And if you guys want a copy of it, happy to give it to you. But it's all about not being so confrontational when you're at the door, opening people's minds up to having further conversations with you, because everybody's calling to buy their house. Everyone is calling to try to give them a cash offer, but you're going there and like face to face, giving them freaking options to look at. So we got to get more creative. We got to upskill ourselves. We can't be so lazy with just trying to dish out offers. We got to do what we got in this business to do, is to really help people. And when you're door knocking, you're really focusing on pre-foreclosures. This is how you do it. So guys, if you want a copy of my script, go to themattbeard.com. You click on resources. I have pre-foreclosure script there. I have my general door knocking script there. I have all kind of stuff. So happy to give that to you guys. Whatever you may need, I am here to support you. Thank you for tuning in for Momentum number 176, guys. I hope you got some value from this video today. And if you did, as always, head over to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. I'm going to go live there again tomorrow. This is all gearing up to season 2 of Zero to Hero. Season 1 will be officially launched to the general public next week. I can't wait to share that with you guys. But guys, again, thank you for coming and tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.